Stephen Jules Radio Show. How are we? Yeah, I know there hasn't been a YouTube video or a podcast this week. I've taken a week off, just after the music video that I published, so it was a fair work. So I'm doing the live audio tonight on Rumble. This episode, will be available next week, as after I record it too as well. But I was watching Dr. Phil today on Rumble. It was quite interesting about China and how is the pharmaceutical industry in the US, even here in Australia too, having to rely on China because of a medication shortage. Now, there are some people that are taking Vicodin, people have ADHD. I myself are on the antidepressants. And what do you do as a pharmacist when you don't have any medication in stock? Now, I can tell you from experience, I was getting my hepatitis B vaccine, Endrex. It's the generic vaccine in Australia, and I can remember. I'll tell you this, and this was spoken about on the show, Dr. Phil. I had to ring around multiple pharmacists because they were just out of stock, and for some reason, the supplier didn't have them. And, as you know, and a lot of customers too will have to ring pharmacists, ring them around because they're out of stock. Now, there was one pharmacist was saying, I think, I don't know if it was a generic brand of medication, but it was like, $500 just for the generic. Now, we're lucky in Australia that it's at a very good price with our pharmaceuticals. But even then, I noticed too, like some pharmacists were running short on stock. And there are some people too that are going without their medications. And people need their medications. The pharmaceutical industry, guys, is pretty much an essential service for us. But it was quite interesting how you get in the whole issue about China becoming a supplier. The pharmaceutical industry is $1 billion industry. They make trillions of dollars every year. And now, for instance, it's sort of become like, I don't know how we got to a situation where pharmacists are running short stock on medications. That's what I'd like to know. Unfortunately, it's just like any other business, the pharmaceutical industry. Um, Now there are certain antidepressants that can get very addictive. Painkillers as well, Vicodin, Oxycontin, Xanax. Uh, and the problem with these medications is because they have a sedative effect. Painkillers to what happens when people get hooked on them is they'll start going pharmaceutical shopping or doctor shopping, as it's called. Um, I mean, you can get in trouble for that because you're using certain medications for an addiction to feed your addiction. Um, yeah, this happens a lot in athletes, wrestlers, um, men, women playing contact sport a lot, where they're always in pain. And especially this is very big in America and the NFL, NHL, where they've got a doctor there. Sure, we'll write you a script of Oxycontin or Vicodin. Yeah, have as much supplies, and there's always ways they get around it. And the sad thing is, these painkillers, Xanax, we're talking pharmaceuticals, they can become so addictive, and this is when people get in trouble going pharmaceutical shopping. And now, in my case, because I needed to get a vaccine that I was prescribed by my doctor, and I was ringing around pharmacies, and I'm thinking, oh my God, are they going to have this in? So I had to call around myself, and eventually I've had all three shots. Yeah, so that's the thing, and pharmaceuticals as well. Okay. Yeah, it's $1 billion industry. You know that. Yeah, so it was quite interesting on Dr. Phil. I was watching it on Rumble today, as I was doing some animation giffies. Yeah, and it was just interesting about China. Is China becoming the main source, the main supplier for our medications? Yeah, so that's the thing. It's yeah, we just got to just keep an eye out. Well, you could try and get as much. I prefer to get the generic brand of medications as well instead of the what's the other brand? You got the generic and the I don't know. But for me, generics always work the best. It's kind of like your home brand of medication, the generic. It works out cheaper for the customers out there. So, but no, it was quite interesting. Check out Dr. Phil's stuff on Rumble. Yeah, it's well worth listening to. And basically, yeah, having an idea. Okay, well, anytime when you get into the whole problem with shipping, supply and demand, trade, natural disasters, um, yeah, yeah, all these stuff does affect the shipping cost because then this is all retail. Because after that, with all the shipping, you've got to then take another direction to get to the destination. So then the cost of the freight goes up, and then the pharmacists uh, running the business, they have to then put their prices up or down. Now it's not all medications. Medications. I think that in Australia they're set at a price, but not in the US, of course, when it's overpriced and very expensive to have, medications. The pharmacist apparently, I think he went into some detail about he was losing. He was willing. I don't know if he was willing to lose money just to keep his customers, or advising his customers to basically try another medication that'll work, but will have a different effect. I mean, everyone's body reacts differently to antidepressants, and it just takes some time to find the right one that works for you. I think too, COVID has had an impact on the pharmaceutical industry, the healthcare system. As you know, I ended up getting COVID for the second time in a row, and it was horrible. Not as bad as the first one, but as we could see, the vaccines pretty much getting to that's become business. With obviously Pfizer, I think, is the main one to be using. Yes, that's a problem Americans are facing at the moment. The cost of living, is a problem, and it's not good if people have to go without medication, and just so they can have food to eat. Everyone's circumstances are different when it comes to healthcare, but I'm just telling you what's going on with the pharmaceutical industry. So yeah, it was just quite interesting, very interesting. Yeah, definitely learned a lot. I learned a lot. The Olympics in Paris this year was just shit. I can't believe they let a man or transgender man get into a boxing ring with a woman. I mean, this is just disgusting. The Paris Olympics was just that was just an embarrassment to the Olympic Games. I wasn't too keen on it. Um, it was just, and when an Australian woman decided to do an embarrassment for our nation with that breakdancing, which just made the nation look very bad. The Paris Olympics was shit. It just was not the Olympics or what we used to be seeing. Um, so yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't want to get into all the politics and the woke left media influencing the Olympic Games and willing to allow a man to go and box a woman. I mean, this is a disgrace. I was just disgusted with that the Paris Olympics would let this happen. Um, I don't know what's going on with Paris. Apparently, it's a shithole. Um, yeah, I mean, this is the world we're living in. Um, you get all these conspiracy theorists say that Walmart, a civil war with Walmart or something. I mean, I do agree that corporations are slowly taking over small businesses, of course. Um, that's been happening for years. And yeah, well, after that, I find, yeah, that it's important to keep small businesses going for as long as possible because small businesses are the ones that keep the economy going and moving. So that's the point I'm trying to make. Um, I believe that that when the economy is in trouble out there, and trade is affected, supply and demand, of course. Um, yeah, I feel that these issues at the next presidential election, of course, I'm talking mainly America, they've got to be addressed. Now, I wish Kamala Harris all the best for her presidential run. Oh, she's technically, is she president? Oh, Joe Biden's resigned. I don't care about Joe. Yeah. But yeah, this is politics, guys, because unfortunately, politics are the ones that are having a say in our world right now. So that's the problem we have. Okay. Yeah, and I've heard from other people, well, is the healthcare system becoming what's called the sickness industry? We know for a fact that GPs in Australia were not happy with the bulk billing. So, as you've heard, and there are some medical centers that don't bulk bill anymore. Some are doing a split billing. Some only bulk bill for people who are pensioners. I think the veteran DVA card as well, which is good. And look, I will always support Medicare because it's so much better. You know, the healthcare industry is just becoming a business too. Um, unfortunately, everything is driven by money, but it's a hard one with the pharmaceutical and healthcare industry. Yeah, but no, look, I've been enjoying my week off as well from the podcast and YouTube while I am chilling out right now. Yeah, it just I'm really not paying attention to too much news media and too much journalism. Um, yeah, well, all I'm doing is finding out, well, yeah, what can I do better as a creator? So I've updated my motion elements and Pond 5 as well. So there's new new content coming out as well. So I'm trying out some new stuff. Yeah, but unfortunately, you can't rely on certain services here in Australia as well. Yeah, it's quite sad too that this is happening in the pharmaceuticals because again they're an essential service that we rely on as consumers. But you know, the video games I've been playing at the moment to take my mind off all this stuff. Grand Theft Auto 5, of course. Crash Bandicoot, definitely worth playing Crash Bandicoot. When I play Formula One, F124, PGA, 2K Golf as well, Cricket 24. Those are the games that help me take my mind away from the negativity out there in the world. I guess we turn to video games. I think just to forget about all the crap and bullshit that's going on. And for me, it's the best thing I've ever done as a creator because, I want to finish the album this year. and you're doing a lot of thinking, and especially in animation. The video I did, my first ever animated video, I learned a lot. I grew as a content creator. I learned so much in drawing. Yeah, I figured, well, it's just good to try something new, I guess. Yes, that's what I did. I'm extremely proud of how my work turned out to be. Um, yeah, very, very happy that it turned out to be fantastic as well. And that's what I've done. And all you can do is just, I would say, just keep on writing and keep on working on your content, because that's very important. Very important to keep on. Just keep trying new stuff, because trying new stuff is what helps us grow as creators. Other than that, the Canterbury Bulldogs look like they're in a good position. They are doing very well this season. Very, very happy with how the team is playing. Yeah, I look forward to their success. Basically, yeah, I think that as of the ladder I'm seeing now, currently Canterbury has moved into 5th position. So now they're running 5th. So it's an improvement from last year, and yeah, I wish them all my team the success, and hopefully a grand final win. You never know. You never know. Definitely the squad's improved a lot. So that's managed to beat the New Zealand Warriors. It was beat them 34-18 in New Zealand. So they've been winning their games away on the road. Obviously, I couldn't make it to the Belmore Sports Ground when they beat the Raiders, because I was sick with COVID, so I had to stay home. Yeah. So it's looks like it keep playing like this, we'll be in the finals, semi-finals. And yeah, that will be good. So but as I'm looking at the ladder at the moment, because I haven't had much time to be watching the footy, I'm looking at West Tigers. For some reason, Wests have apparently did West Tigers beat Manly for some reason? The West Tigers just, I don't know what's going on with the club. Yeah, they did. They beat Manly 34-26. Good on them, and it's good to see that the West Tigers they won, and that's what we want. How many years can Benji Marshall keep on putting up with being at the bottom of the ladder? I know for a few years Parramatta Eels were in the bottom. So was Canterbury Bulldogs last year. We didn't have a good season. South Sydney, I've noticed they're not having a good season this year as well. I mean, that's footy, of course. But you look at as you look at the top 8. When you get into the top 8, okay, this is the time of the year where I pay attention to the ladder. Now, I don't have time to be watching every game or highlight, but I can just see it here, all right. And I'm looking, the Storms are in first, Penrith in second. So this will be an interesting finals if Canterbury can get to the grand final. And they did. The last time they played, I think it was against South. But no, it should be an interesting couple of weeks coming up. But the Formula One's just come back as well. And yeah, they took a break, so they're in the Dutch Grand Prix. Yeah, so it's great to see. Practice is back. Formula One is back. This Formula One's awesome. And yeah, and I'm enjoying the fantasy, F1 fantasy as well. No, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I thought just have a quick episode tonight as well. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please like, share, subscribe to the Stephen Shields radio show. Guys, I publish new episodes every Friday at 6 p.m. Sydney, Australia time. Good night, and bye for now.